Konnichiwa minasan, Puchan desu! Welcome back to Easy Anime Japanese, lesson 15. That's a lot of lessons. So today we're going to be doing part 3 of Inu no Omowari-san. So if you've been watching along, then you know the first two lines. Maigo no konneko-chan, anata no o-uchi wa doko desu ka? If you don't, then there'll be a link in the doobly-doo to the first two videos as well as on the end card so you can catch yourself up. So now we're going to move on to line 3, which is where things start to get really interesting. So the third line goes, O-uchi o kite mo wakaranai. So this means even if I ask you where your house is, you say you don't know. So this one gets into some pretty complex grammar, so let's do it one word at a time so we can do it less complicated. So let's start with o-uchi, which we learned in the last lesson. Uchi means house, and o makes it more polite, so o-uchi. And it's also important to know with kids in Japan, in this case a little lost kitten, uchi doesn't just mean house, it can also mean like address and where you live. So the next word is o, which is actually spelled wo in Japanese, but it's pronounced o, which can get pretty confusing. But the o particle means that the thing before it is the object of the sentence. So in this case, the house or the address is the object of this sentence. So the next word is kite, which is the command form of kiku. If you remember some of our earlier lessons, we talked about the command form. If you add te onto a verb, then it becomes a command. So kite is the command form of to ask, and because kiku means to ask. So now we have o-uchi okite, which would be telling someone to go ask about the house or the address. So another important thing you're going to need to know about Japanese is there are lots of homonyms. So kiku can also mean listen. So if you were in a Japanese class and the teacher was telling you to listen, they would say kite kudasai, which would mean listen, and you have to be paying attention to context as well as if it's written, what kanji it's written in, and you will be able to tell if they're asking you to ask a question or they're asking you to listen. So te by itself is the command form, but you can add all sorts of helper verbs to it to make it mean different things. In this case, we're adding mo, so we get temo, which is even if I were to do the verb. So kitemo means even if I ask you. So now we have o-uchi o kitemo, which is even if I ask you where your house is or about your address. So now we have wakaranai. So if you've been watching our series, you're probably very, very familiar with wakaru, wakaranai, wakarimasu, all sorts of things like that. So wakaru is to know or to understand, and you add the nai, so wakaranai is you don't know or you don't understand. So another important thing to know about Japanese is the Japanese skip words all the time. A lot of those are pronouns. So if we take the sentence we have now, o-uchi okite mo wakaranai, and we say that directly, that is house, even if ask, don't know. That is all. And if I just add pronouns, it becomes even if I ask you about your house, you don't know. And that's all. Like, you're gonna have to know by context. So you know by context that the dog is asking the kitten about where her house is, and she is saying, I don't know, because of the rest of the song saying that it's a little lost kitten and a dog policeman. So you kind of know by context what's happening. So in Japanese, you really have to pay attention to context. Like I talk about lots of homonyms, and now there's like skip words all over the place. So context is very important in Japanese. This is really hard for me, but if I try and put the pronouns back in the Japanese, it sounds really weird to me. So, watashi wa anata no o-uchi okite mo anata wa wakaranai. That sounds really weird to me. It might not sound weird to people that actually know what all the words mean and then putting them together, but it will sound especially weird to someone that actually like fluently speaks Japanese and knows this song. It's just like, that would be like y, blah, blah, blah. It would be really weird. So these are some really cool new structures and rules to keep in mind next time you're talking to someone in Japanese or watching your favorite show. I hope you liked it, and here's some new words next time you watch your favorite anime. Subscribe to keep updated on new videos. It really helps us out if you do. And thank you for taking the time to show your support. Until next time, ganbatte!